Hey guys, how you doing? I'm back in the studio, so I have another technique I was going to show you with a smaller jelly plate. I'm always in the studio, and I've started writing down like ideas for different sort of quick tutorials I could show as well, so that I don't take up as much of you guys' time. But thank you so much for the positive feedback on the last video. So many of you guys reached out to me. I hope that I responded to everyone. If I didn't, it's because I didn't see. Sometimes on YouTube, they flip things around, so you don't always see the responses. So I apologize if I missed anything. But please continue to comment, and I will definitely respond. Anything that you'd like to see with some of the various techniques, please let me know. I'm going to try to put together a schedule so that we can do some live ones together. And then that way you can ask me questions and I can respond directly by showing you here. But anyway, been in the studio working, and I'm going to show you this little tutorial or a technique that I do with the small jelly plate, this one here. Of course, it's always got something on it. I always leave paint on it. We've talked about that. But I love this size because I do a lot of layering, and I do collage-like layering over prints that I've already done, or if I'm in the process of working with the different plate sizes. I mix plate sizes as well. But today I'm going to show you how I actually use it in art journaling. So this is a journal. I just started working in it, but excuse me, I got this from Walmart, and I got several of them from Walmart at different times. So I don't know if it's a project they carry regularly or they just had it for a span of time. When I was, I'm just looking around to see if I can see one that it still had the label on it. Because I went on separate occasions, like months apart, and they had it. But then sometimes I go and I don't see it. So, but it is, let me see if the company's on the inside. I don't see a name. I don't see a name or anything. But the only surface I've ever seen it is with the gold dots on it. This brown craft board with the gold dots and this sort of on the side. It's like a tape, like a fabric tape. It's like a grosgrain, if I can see it there. And the thing I love about it is, first of all, I like working on craft paper. Number one, I love it. I love these tones. And the other thing, it lays perfectly flat. I mean, this book, no matter where you do it, it lays flat. So it's so good for jelly printing and anything like that where you want to be able to have it laying flat and you can just press a full-size plate across the entire thing. So I love it. And the other thing is it was like really inexpensive. I think this thing was like $3.98. And it's huge. And I took a sample that I worked on a page. I did a print on it. And it actually takes the paint well. You do get some buckling. It's not the most, I mean, it's obviously inexpensive paper. But for journaling and for working on it, I really like it. So I'm going to show you how to use this size plate when you're journaling, because sometimes I just want to work color ideas or brush stroking, or maybe I have my writing. I'm thinking of certain things and I want to write it in my journal, but I want some kind of graphics or to go along with it. And so this particular book, I'm just going to fill up with single prints and a lot of the musings, the things that go through my mind when I'm working in the studio. And it'll give you a chance for me to show you a couple of techniques. I want to show you another technique that I use where I actually use brush and make brush marks and brush strokes when working. Let me see, let me get, because I use this, everybody uses the deli paper, but I just get this parchment paper that you get like from the dollar store or wherever. I mean, I always get it from the dollar store, but it's parchment paper, which means it's like deli paper. It's not waxed, so it's just kind of got that surface, but it's not waxed. So I'll show you a technique that I use this with. So if you're having a hard time getting the deli paper in the boxes, I know a number of people talk about the deli paper, and I should have moved my light. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's still good. Sorry. This is real life in the studio. Hold up a second. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, well. I was trying to get one of the things from underneath my... Because I keep a bit underneath here so I can put stuff on, but it was like in my way of my feet. So I push it and I knock my light out. Oh, well. Okay, welcome to my world. So I'm going to show you that technique. So I'm only going to try to be on here 20 minutes so that it's a quick one that you guys can, doesn't take too much time up in your day, but you can keep on working through some of the ideas for art journaling and for work with the deli plate. And I was thinking, the jelly plate. I was thinking today as I was looking through some of my old journals, they're just full of tons of different techniques, and half the time I forget them, which is why I even do my journals in the studio, because I work through a lot of techniques in them. And so I sit down periodically and I go back through them. But then I was thinking, wow, there's a lot of stuff I can share with you guys, because I've done this 365 journaling for years now. And when I go back and look even over the last 2 years of a lot of the techniques, there's tons of stuff there. So I'm just going to try to come to you more regularly, because if you guys are happy with this Google Hangouts format, it saves me from editing and all that uploading, and that will take more time, trust me, and I won't do it. But this format seems to work well, because as soon as I'm done, I press upload and you guys get it. I'll keep on working on trying to make the lighting as good as possible and that sort of thing, but let's just roll with it. And this is rough and ready in the studio, right? Okay, cool. So see if you can try to find this book. I want to think it's something like Big Brown Book or something like that. It was something basic. See if you can find it. Specifically, even if it doesn't have this cover, look for something that lays flat. No matter where you open it, it does lay flat. So look for that. Meanwhile, small jelly plate. These are very inexpensive. I think these are what, $12 or something like that. I don't remember. I've had this for a while, but they're very inexpensive, and I like all the sizes. I have one of my stencils. This is a Tim Holtz stencil. It's burlap. I love this because I love the random pattern. I'll probably use a little bit of this, and then of course I have a number of my spare pages to start working on. Okay, so I'll show you the paint colors as we go along, and let's get rolling. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'm gonna angle this down now. Excuse me. Try to get this. That's looking pretty good. Yep. Okay. So let's get going by so I already have a print on here, as you know. I'm going to off this print onto my book initially because I want to try to grab this image. It's going to take a minute. I think the first time I'm going to do it, I'm going to actually do it on here. So because this is white and black, and then you see I have the open area that's just the jelly plate, I want to back this so there's a little color going on here. So this is my nickel ozo yellow. So let's just roll the plate up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down some color here, just to off this print a little bit. So I'm not trying to print the whole thing. I just want to get, see how I pulled some of that already? So I just want to get the plate warmed up, because in order to pull a good print of this, I really do need to start getting this white paint activated a bit. And then I'm going to let that dry because I want that background color. In the meanwhile, I just put that there because that becomes just a printed surface that I'll come back to. Now, what the black is Sumi ink. So if you look here, you see where when I laid it down, you see how it beaded up there? And that actually is still wet because the liquid in the paint activated the ink. So this wasn't ink there. That was actually, that wasn't paint, that was ink. So that's actually the Sumi ink, which is the Japanese calligraphy ink. And it comes in all various versions. And you can even go to your art supply store and just get India ink. That's fine. And you can actually paint it on the plate and let it dry. And I love it. It'll smush around. It'll do different things. But I really like it. Actually, I do think that there's black paint originally. And then I think I painted in with the Sumi. I can tell because of the way this is beading up. So the outer circle was originally black paint, the golden. And then when I went to print again, I must have used some of the Sumi over it. Okay, so now that that's drying there a little bit, I'm going to, let's get something here. So now that that's drying, the yellow, let me see. I'm going to put some white on it. Because see, the background is white. So let's use our Celadon. I should have pulled out a new Celadon. I know I have one. I always keep the Celadon. Yeah, here we are. That way I don't have to be knocking this one to death. Yep. I buy these. Like I said before, the matte acrylic that Blick does, they only do it in this size, except for the white and the black they do in the larger sizes. But I sure wish that they would do this in the bigger size because I would buy it. But anyhow, when I go, I just buy several bottles of it. See, like they'll do it in the large size, in the white and the black. But that's it. Okay, so we're going to put some Celadon on the plate. Remember, when we do this type of technique, when we're trying to pull color off, make it sort of thick. Because the thicker it is, the more this will adhere to the understructure. And it will, it gives you, think of it like a suction cup. This thicker paint will actually adhere and absorb into the page here. So you can actually press it down and hold it longer. Now you see how I use this plate slightly differently as well. I take it, and because it's small, I can take it and lay it down where I want, and I can pretty much see what's going on. Now what I'm doing is I'm letting this stay on here a bit because I really want this plate to really suck to this background paper. And I'm letting it absorb, the paper absorb the moisture. Because by doing that, it's going to transform more of this image that's been sitting on this plate for a while, because it's going to stick to the new plate and it's going to transfer off the jelly plate. So the trick also is to not have it stay on there too long, that I peel the paper, as I've done that too. I've peeled a layer of the paper with the paint and it'll be back on the jelly plate. But then you know me, I use that too because it just creates more texture. So let's see what this is going to do. Okay, so see what it's doing is still activating this plate. So I didn't really get a transfer of anything but color. You see that? Just the Celadon, just a little bit of the white around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to just roll some more color on here, just a little bit. And I'm going to try transferring it again. Sometimes when the plate is still, it hasn't been used a lot, Yet it takes a while to get the image to start transferring. And it always seems to happen it always transfers the best, like when you do a scrap paper. So I've learned not to do the scrap paper. I just keep on doing layers of things in my book until I get the print I want. And then I go back and reprint or paint, you know, collage. We can do all kinds of things over that. It's not going to be lost. Okay, we're starting to get some more layers there, see? See how we've gotten the white, the yellow circle is coming through around the, so that print is looking nice. So I'm just getting all that old stuff off the plate. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, excuse me, some white on this. Let's put a little bit of this quinacridone gold. Put my volumes up loud enough, guys. So this is the quinacridone nickel ozo gold. And that's just going to give me a little background color here to work with, just to help some of this pop before I put the white on. I'm just going to print some of this because I had a lot on there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put some white paint on it. I'm liking this. This is nice. It's very subtle, but it gives me a nice layer to then start journaling over. And if we go back to this one here as it's drying, see, these just all become layers. But if you can see, there's a little bit more going on than just a layer of green, because it's picking up a lot of the texture from the plate. The old stuff is coming through. And that's why I love this book. I mean, for $3.98, you know, it's a good price, and you can just keep on turning to the new page, and it's giving you journal pages that you can come back and work with. So now let's get some white down here. This is the thick, simply acrylic, the dollar Roni. And I'm printing on this side so that I don't push this into the next page. I think that's probably pretty obvious, but I thought I would say it. Still haven't gotten the print I'm looking for. It's in here. I'm trying to get that black to transfer, because when that does, it's going to really make the image pop. So I'm going to let this really absorb. And here, I just use this as a stamp. I love this this size because it's just like a stamp. You can just put it wherever you want to put it. So even if you're using, I actually did a very large sheet with this, and I just use it as a stamp all over it. I have to pull that piece out at some point and show you guys. And it really turned out nicely. So this is just handy. Okay, we're getting there. See how much more is still left on this plate? It's insane. This is good. We just keep on pulling up layers. Now I'm gonna try something here. Watch what's gonna happen. I guarantee you, I changed the paper, but I'm gonna use a good sheet, because if I get the print I'm looking for, I don't want to be disappointed. So I'm gonna use some of this typing paper. The old typing paper I talked about in my last video I like to use. Let me see if I can just lay this down and transfer more. This has got some good layers going on. See that quinacridone gold? Kind of gave that rusty color. And then all this is creeping through. So it really has an old dimensional look to it. And that's how I really start working. This is how I build my layers up. to then do more mono prints on top or collage on top of it. Let me see if I can get more of this up. Yep, here it comes. I knew it was going to come as soon as I changed paper. That's why I wanted to put it on a good piece. See that? Yay. See all of that? That's all that old print. The white, the black underneath there. This is a quinacridone and the celadon that I put on there. So I took a minute to release it, but it does release. But doing it on this better paper, which I'm glad I actually put it on this paper, in fact, then I can take and actually collage this onto another piece, and I've got a really beautiful, highly textured, you know, really a lot going on this print. And it took me inking the plate just a few times. You see how the plate's basically clean now. I pulled most of that image. So I'm pleased with that. So we're going to put that to the side. Okay, so now let me show you one of the painting techniques. Now, since we have these prints, these background prints here, let me show you another technique with the deli paper that we can use. So basically what we're doing is we're using the deli paper as a plate. And so let me grab some of this. I like this color a lot too. It's pewter. So it's the Blick Matte acrylic in the pewter. Let me get back. I don't need a big piece. I'll use this as the waste sheet. I really like how this pewter works in this particular technique. So here I'm using my brush. This is a number 10 acrylic brush, and I've just loaded it. And then you just kind of want to stroke down, just sort of make these kind of painterly stroke marks. And then take, let's see this, just lay it over top of your image and just press it down like you would the jelly plate. And when you pull it off, yeah, you get this really nice, subtle transfer. You see that? And it looks just like you painted it because you get the brush marks. I really love that. So, oh wow, it's a lot of color coming through on that one. So let me show you with, I don't want to do it on there. Let me see. I was kind of playing with this the other day, so I was just doing some running of ink and some of using the inks to create some of my goddess language. So let's take and transfer some of this. You can do this on or off the jelly plate. It doesn't matter. So let's see. I'm going to put this in. It's just a neat way to transfer. See that? See how cool that is? You just get these light kind of brush stroke. And that's just with, you can run out right now and get some parchment paper and do that. So let's see. Get some white on here because I want to transfer some white onto this. So this is another way that I use the brush over. So let's say you have a jelly plate print that you kind of like, you know you like where it's going, but now you just want to add something to it without covering it up completely. So now you see that layer of white paint on there. See that? Where the white. So you can just kind of continue to build up subtle layers of that as well. The other thing we're going to do is you can also do this right on the jelly plate. So what I'm going to do Get another page folded here. Okay, so let me see. But I had a little white left over here, so let me just kind of get that off. I want to get a little background on here. And despite what a lot of people will say with the Gelli plate, this is all creating layers. So that's not enough to make a print. But why did I put that down there? Because see all the texture it picked up? Now that can be a foundation. And then I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to just do some marks on the Gelli plate. You see what I'm doing? I'm just taking these and I'm just overlapping just to get kind of brush strokes. I actually did a whole book using this process. Put this in some water. My water. Excuse me. Okay. Just getting some more water in my little water jug here. Cleaning the brush. Okay, so let's see. What else? I want to show you. So now this is drying. I'm fooling around trying to get it to dry down a bit. And then what I'm going to do is, let's put some gold on there. Let's put a layer of gold. Let's brush it on because I'm showing you this brushing technique. My brush. Okay. You guys see? Just doing a build up here. And then let's get some of my Celadon. You know how I love that. And we're just going to keep on building up. And I'm just kind of painting over it. And I'm actually kind of knocking the surface like this and just pulling it up. Because I don't want to disturb too much of what I have going on underneath there. But I am trying to get enough of a layer of paint on. So when I lay it down, I'm going to have a color transfer. And I'm just filling the whole plate up, these brush strokes, with a kind of a thick layer of this Celadon. So now I'm going to just come. Sometimes I like to take and break up the surface. My mark making. So let's take and lay this down. And see this whole plate right here, I didn't roll except for I just off-rolled a little bit of that cream color. But the rest of it, I just built up brush strokes as you saw. And it will really leave a nice pattern and texture. Okay, great. See that? See how I kind of created that pattern. Now, one of the things I do sometimes when it's thick like that, I don't know if you guys can see it. You see where it's thick and you can kind of see where the paint lifted and left that kind of those ridges. I don't always care for that. So I take my scrap paper, lay it down, and I just lightly rub and I pull that up. See, that's a lot to come off. And you see how I just revealed more of the underlayers? Actually could do it again. Oh, that's something there. It's keeping it from going down. Okay. Ooh. Yep. Got even more. Love it. So let's just move another page. See how I'm working through this journal? I just work through. And then it gives me all this to come back to. Because now, see how this one dried? Awesome. This is some of the first ones we did. So actually I could take this right now and just put it over. Let's see what transfers. I could do it because remember this last print, I put down, I basically dried off with this, remember? So I'm not really getting paint on the other side of the page back there. Let's see how much I can pull off there. Let me show you guys. See? It's nothing over here because that's basically dry now. Oh, that came out good. Yes, yes, look at that. So see on that green surface, see how I got that next layer of texture? And even some of those dots from before are still there, still coming up. So that's nice. We're just building up texture there. So now we're going to go back to this one here. I'm going to show you another quick technique. Just want to get all this off my brush. I'm going to put this over here. This is on my waste paper, but I build these waste papers up as well. See? And what happens is that they'll end up being part of collage stuff that I do. So like all this waste paint that I don't want to waste, I just brush it onto my plate like this. And then I just stamp. So now I'm gonna bring this out a bit. And pretty soon this whole plate, this whole paper will be covered. See that right there? That's nice. And then I can use it in collaging and what have you. Okay, so in the meantime, let's see. I want to use my small, I'm going to show you something over this one here. So I use my small roller, I mean my narrow one, whatever. And I'll put some gold on here. I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to roll right in the middle, just like this. And then I like to take my brush and make my mark making. As you can see there. Now laying this right over here, right in the middle, as much as possible. You'll see how that gold, now this is the iridescent bronze fine and the goldens. And I'm going to take the, hold off on that. Okay. Yep, I want to show you guys. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? See how that transferred? So over this celadon and this sort of textured background that I made by painting, then I put a layer of the bronze, this goldens, and just did some mark making to create some space, and then laid it down over it. And you get this really neat image. And you could actually use, you could write, make, written text, whatever. Since I had some gold on there, and I don't like to waste anything, I'll just put it over here because I'm just going to build this up, right? Just put the extra there. Alrighty. So just transferred a little gold. So I still have gold on my plate there for the next time. Okay, guys, so like I said, I'm trying to be true to my word. I wanted to keep it quick and show you some quick things while I was in the studio. So here, just in a very short period of time, we took a journal. And see, this one, oftentimes I'll put my writings or my thoughts underneath it. And we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th print that I put over there. Let's take a look at it. I know it's drying. Here, we did 6 prints. I'll use this in some other work, collaging it, or I could collage it in the book if I wanted to. You could do that. But now I have, like I said, things going that I can come back to and continue to collage over. That's how I work a lot of my journals that I show you guys. I'm either going back and I'm collaging over them. I may come and do some more jelly printing over them. But see, this is a great surface. And they dry fast too. This is good. See? This was the one that I had done just the Celadon, and then I came with the second layer, and look at all that was left behind. And this was just the very first print just to get things started, but certainly there's a lot that I can do with that. For instance, one of the things right off, I love, I'm not stopping, right? For instance, I love the Distress Stains by Tim Holtz. This one is pumice stone. Love it. So when I do a print like this, and I kind of have, and I may decide, you know, this is cool enough because I just want to write around this. I want to just put my thoughts down. But I kind of want to just kind of fill this in. This is the stuff. So I'm going to show you. I have my favorite colors in this, but I just kind of press it down just to get it started. But you can literally just go over your jelly prints with the Tim Holtz. Look at that. Oh, I thought I had the camera down, but see what happened? It filled it in, but it just kind of gave it like a wash. So now the print actually pops more in those areas. And then I can just keep on working this. I wanted to show you that, but I'll show you more of what the different stains do. But I like working with these as well. So that gives me some place to go there. And okay, I hope this helped you guys to think differently about the jelly water. The small one, don't think that it's useless because it's a lot you can do with this one. You've seen what I've just done with it. You can just use this to make tons of paper and prints and use it back in collaging. Use the better paper because this is really great old typing paper, and it's like 50% cotton. So this is good stuff to work with, and it's archival. So if it's been around this long and it stayed white, this is going to be good. Alrighty, so have fun in your studio today, and I will be back in a few days with some more ideas. And guys, keep on giving me your feedback. Anything that you want to know, please ask questions. I'll schedule some future videos in which maybe I can show some of those things. Alrighty, thanks a lot. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Robin McClendon, YouTube. Check me out at Rare Birds on Instagram. I'm there over there every day. And, of course, my blog is You're Not So Average Creativity Coach. Alrighty, that's on WordPress. All right, take care.